What is going on, everyone? How's the world treating you? I hope good. Today I'm going to start the video off by saying I'm not your normal YouTuber, at least in one respect. And for all of you that are working on some snappy comeback, just stop typing. Nothing you say is going to be original or well thought out. Trust me on that one. Never is. Rarely is, I should say. The difference between myself and a lot of other YouTubers is I take time out every single day to read and answer some emails, comments, and Twitter DMs. Most YouTubers don't. They say it's not worth it because of all the BS that people spew out at them. I get the normal amount of negative people and trolls like everyone else. I normally read some of those. I get about halfway through whatever they're trying to say and I just delete it. Normally when I see things like liberal, bias, or Antifa, I just delete it and don't even go on. Lately I've noticed that some people have brought up the fact that I've never done a reason not to move to Austin, Texas. I thought about it and I guess I haven't. Austin is a great city. It has almost 1 million residents. When you take into consideration the whole metro area, it has closer to 2 million. It's right here in case you don't know. They have a very cool nickname. It's the live music capital of the world. A lot of that goes on there. Now, I've been here a couple times. I love the people and I love the city. But like I always tell people, even if it's a great place, it may not be for everyone. No place is perfect. So why don't you get comfortable and watch my top 10 reasons not to move to Austin, Texas. Number 10, strange laws. Now, I like to bring these ones up in my videos for not as much a reason not to move someplace, but more of an example of how the people there think. They have two laws in Austin that I love. The first one is the criminal notification. While you're in the Austin city limits, if you're going to commit a crime, you must notify the person or location where the crime will be committed. You've also got to tell them what time and what is the nature of the crime, or you'll be convicted of a second crime of not notifying them. And as we all know, most criminals like to follow the law whenever they can, so I'm sure all kinds are just volunteering this information. The second one is the barefoot law. According to an old law that has yet to be overturned, while you're in the city of Austin, it is illegal to walk around barefoot unless, of course, you are on your own property or you've actually got a permit for it. You have to have a permit to walk barefoot. This probably has something to do with all the hippies they've had back around Austin over the years. Number 9, it's in Texas. Austin isn't like Texas. You'll be living in a very liberal town in a very conservative Texas. That should be enough not to move there right off the bat. Don't get me wrong, Texas is a great state. They've been doing things right for a very long time. Good economy, good schools, low crime, the list goes on. They're also very Republican, very conservative, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just Austin and the rest of Texas are complete polar opposites. They're nothing alike. Number 8, cost of living. The cost of living is kind of high in Austin. Most of Texas is almost neutral with the national average, not Austin. They're 8% higher than the national average. If you're coming from LA, San Francisco, or New York, this is going to be a lot lower than what you're used to. But also you got to remember, this is Texas. It's a relatively prosperous state with somewhat mild costs of living. Like many other things in Austin, it's not like the rest of Texas. And on top of all that, the cost of housing in Austin is 33% higher than the national average. So that sucks. Number 7, it's a college town. Austin is home to the University of Texas and a handful of smaller schools, which makes Austin a big college town. The majority of the population would be that college age types, which is great if you sell beer, cell phones, and condoms. It sucks for almost everyone else. Number 6, the weather. The weather in Austin is rough if you're used to the cold and enjoy things like different seasons. The winters rarely get below the 50s and the summers will easily get into the triple digits. Now I get it, that sounds like desert weather, but Austin isn't a desert. If you're from Portland or Seattle, it might seem like one to you, but I assure you, it doesn't qualify as a desert. It just gets really hot and never gets too terribly cold. Number 5, crime. Before you say it, yes, every place has crime. That's never been the dispute. The amount is what we're talking about, so stop typing. Get that all the time. Every place has crime. Yeah, no kidding. Crime in Austin is horrible and it's getting worse every single year by at least 3%. The city has about 3,000 crimes committed per every 100,000 residents, which is about 10 crimes daily, making the overall crime rate about 31% worse than the national average. This again fights all Texas norms. Other than a bunch of border towns, Texas doesn't have terrible crime rates. It just doesn't. Some places do in Texas, but a majority of them are pretty decent. Number 4, public transportation. Austin sucks when it comes to public transportation. While the city does have a bus system, they don't have any type of light rail or streetcar system, which is very common in most major cities these days. I've done a lot of research on public transportation. If you're a good-sized city, you need a nice, safe rail system. It's a must these days. Austin, being the type of city that it is, very liberal and very, progressive, I would think they would have had this done years ago. Their traffic has been getting progressively worse every single year. Every single year. For probably the last 5 years. I mean, before that, but it's really picked up steam the last 5 years. If they aren't making plans already, they better start. And if they don't know how to get it going, give me a call. I ride trains all the time, and I look at them a lot. I probably know more about them than the city officials in Austin at this point. Number 3, air conditioning. It's next to impossible to live in this city without air conditioning. It's hot in Austin, and as the temperatures go up, the humidity goes down, so circulating air is a necessity. This is the point where some dudes will feel a need to make a comment. It will be something along the lines of me being soft for needing air conditioning. Let me help you out. I can survive without air conditioning. I've lived in Central America. They don't have air conditioning there, at least the places I went. If you want to be a tough guy and sweat and smell all the time, go ahead. I don't like to. I like women. Number 2, transplants. Locals in Austin hate transplants. So in case you decide to move here, just assume everyone hates you. Austin locals don't adapt to change well. They're like the dinosaurs. You'll get the same stupidity here in Portland. It's just a bunch of jackholes. Move wherever you want. And number 1, bats. Now this one's a big one because almost everyone hates bats. Well, maybe not those dudes that hate air conditioning and don't like to shower and like to smell. They're not afraid of bats because they're tough guys. But lots of people have chiroptophobia, which is the fear of bats. In case you walk around very much outside at night, you'll need to be careful of bats. There's roughly 1.5 million Mexican free-tailed bats within the city of Austin, and some even have rabies. That sucks. The only thing that outnumbers drunk college dudes in this city are bats. How bad is that? I mean, nobody likes bats. Well, maybe unless you're like some goth teenager that's trying to impress some guy at Taco Bell that owns a python or something like that, and you tell him you got bats and you love bats. Maybe they're the only person that like bats. Everyone else hates bats. Alright, so that's the top 10 reasons not to move to Austin, Texas. Like I said, Austin's a great city, great people. A lot of things good are going on there. It has 10 negative things just like every place else. No big deal. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Hit all the links below. Leave me a comment. Everybody have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe. Be nice to each other.